Hi, you guys. My name is Kern, and I post home recording weekly. And today I am doing a review of the Sigmund. It's a high quality, flexible delay unit, and there's a lot going on here. And I'm doing this review on behalf of Modern Producer Magazine. Let's take a quick look here. This is the Modern Producer. This is where some of today's hippest digital producers they write articles, they post reviews. If you have questions for them, they can be answered all right here at the Modern Producer. It's fantastic, a great resource. And as I said, my name is Kern, and I post home recording weekly. This is where I help others get better recordings with a podcast and a video channel and all kinds of good posts and reviews. So to begin, I would tell you that I have been in the market for a new delay unit, and I've had my eye on two. I've had my eye on the Sigmund and another, let's say a black delay unit that is extremely popular. It starts with an E. And they're both incredible. And they're both, I think, about $90. I think they're both in the same ballpark. This one has a lot more going on as far as customizable tweaking to the actual delay itself, as far as the sonic information, not as in the BPMs or the number of repeats or something. So that's completely different. And this thing is a tough nut to crack. And I'm going to start at the very outside and work my way in. Let me start off by saying, of course, you can use this on the track itself because there's a dry wet knob over here, or you can use it bust on an effects track, and we're going to do both today. I have it on a snare, but we can put it on some different things here and just kind of check it out. Now, there's actually 4 stereo delays here. And each one can be panned and set to either BPM, and then you set the note that you want it to repeat to. And you see there's 2 notes here. That's because it's a stereo. You can sum it to mono. Or you can undo the tempo sync and manually enter what you want for the left and the right. Let me stop here with our tour and tell you this is either a normal stereo or mono delay, or it can be used as a mid-side delay. So this can even come in handy when you're doing masters and things, or if you just want something to be on the outer left and right, or maybe on just the center channel, and not, it's so flexible already, and I'm just getting started. There's a master output in case things get really quiet, as you're editing, and you'll see what I mean by editing the signal. There's a limiter here. How many times have I used compression or limiting after my delay because it's so quiet and I want them all to be the same level as it repeats? There's a limiter right there, and I thought that was so clever. So each of the 4 delay channels here has got all kinds of options. First, you have a filter section here, and you can change, well, I'll get back to that in just a second. Right now I have it off, but you can have a low pass filter, and then you can choose where the signal, how much low and highs come in right here with this dial. A band pass, and you can choose where you want the band pass to be, and you can automate this stuff so it acts like a wah-wah pedal like a guitar player would have. And then over here is a high pass filter, and then you can use the cutoff, of course, to tell it how much low information you actually do want to come through. A note to Sigmund: if you're going to get in the pedal building business and you build this as a guitar player, this would be the one pedal I would want on my pedal board. There's an overdrive. There's an incredible 2 modulations here. There's a tremolo, and again the filter section, the low pass and the high pass and the band pass. If this was a physical guitar pedal or bass pedal or keyboard pedal that I could put on my pedal board, I would buy one immediately as soon as I heard about it. And there's also 4 delays on top of it. So this is one incredible plugin that it also would make one killer guitar pedal. All right, let's move on. Down here, you see there's an overdrive section. That's right. You can take and color the signal. You can have preamp, color, and gain, and actually add, warmth. As I'm just going to say warmth, wink, wink, nod, nod. It's still digital. However, this kind of clips it and distorts it and makes it sound really nice. And we're going to go through that. And then you have a spread. Do you want it to be stereo or mono? And this is your delay. You can hold it. And again, automation would be great for that. And a feedback plus or minus. It's not how much feedback do you want in the center. It's normal. And then you have plus or minus feedback. The modulation is here. You choose modulation 1. And you come down here and you can tell it, do you want an LFO? Do you want an envelope filter? Or do you want a peak meter, peak limiter? Peak follower. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. This peak follower kind of threw me. I didn't understand it. It looks like it's some kind of limiter, and I'm going to learn more about that. However, I know all about envelope filters, and I know about LFOs, so I will take you through that. These are your waves over here that you want your repeats to be modulated. You can have your sawtooth, you can have your triangle, whatever it is you like, and it makes a big difference. And you can tell which frequencies you want to be modulated. You can invert the phase, and you can manually take it out of phase up to 180 degrees, or you can sync it to your song and tell it what kind of note value you want it to be. How incredible is that? Now, a lot of times, like I told you, after my delay, I'll bring in a compressor or a limiter so that I make sure people can hear my repeats, that they're all loud enough. This is an envelope filter, and I use transient designers a lot when I mix, and basically that's what this is. You can tell it I want more attack or less attack, more sustain, less sustain. I want the decay or the release to be quicker or slower, and I want it to hold more. How cool is that? And you can have 2 of those going on. You can have 2 peak followers, or you can have 2 LFOs. Guys, that's pretty intense, and I'm going to show you what that sounds like here in just a minute. So don't think I'm turning this stuff on and then going away. Now, let me say, for mod 1 and mod 2, you can have it linear or logarithmic. If you know what I understand what that means. I don't know how it applies, so this should be pretty cool to play with. A time, you have a frequency cutoff here, and then you have a tremolo that you can bring in, and then you can change number 2. And again, you can do this with each delay. You go through all of these parameters, so you can have 4 extremely interesting tweaked up delays to any signal that you want with just one instance of the Sigmund. And down here, as if your mind isn't blown enough, I said you can pan these delays, and you can also turn them up or down right here, and that's pretty darn cool. Down here is your routing. You can have this in series, you can have it in parallel. So in series, it would come in number 1 delay, and then that would feed into number 2 delay, and then that would feed into 3, and then 4, and how you'd have an absolute abundance of chaos coming out of number 4 back into your song. You can have it in parallel, and you can have it in any, this is what they call tapped serial. It looks at the series, but they tap off all 4 in parallel. So the delays are feeding one into each other, and then each one is reporting into your DAW, or you can have any variation of that you feel you need. Guys that are, and girls that are doing EDM and dance and trance and all that kind of stuff, you are going to have a heyday with this thing, because it totally distorts the signal and repeats. And then, like I said, you can have it on like bandpass and automate the resolution here and make it sound like an EQ that's sweeping through. And you can do it so quickly and easily, guys. This thing is just amazing. Enough talking. I think I've summed up everything that can happen here. Oh, and you can save everything in a preset if you like, after you've done all your hard work. Let's go through and listen to a snare, and we're going to put it right on the actual snare track, and we're going to see what kind of sounds we can get, and then we're going to put it over here on a snare bus send. and use this wet dry a little more. And then, I don't know, maybe we'll put it on a bass or something like that. So let's just see what is going on. I have all of the delays muted. I'm going to undelete number 1, delay 1, and we're going to go through these features, and then we're going to kind of check out what all the buttons and knobs will do to our signal. So let me just hit mute and make sure everything, or pause and make sure everything is ready, and I'll come back and we will get started. Okay, we're ready. Why don't we take a listen to the song first, and then I will bring in the delay. So here's what we got going. Okay, you get the idea. I'm going to put the loop on, and now let's look at the Sigmund on the snare. And I need to solo my voice and the snare, and there we have it. Okay, now what you're hearing is some flam there on the snare. That's not a delay. I apologize if it's quiet. I'll turn it up a little bit. That's probably pretty good for you guys. And I should say I have a bus compressor here, and I have a limiter over here, only because I'm making a video, okay? So I don't know how much of this, envelope follower is going to get chewed up by that limiter. So let's check it out. I'm going to unmute delay number 1. Now, I have that tempo synced. And it's a quarter note and an eighth note that's happening on this particular delay. I'll turn the feedback back a little bit, and then let's play with the band pass. And then the cutoff over here. So you can have it like a wah. And all of this is automatable. I know I've said that. And then you can set all of these features like the overdrive modulations and stuff, either pre or post. And this is pre again. Let's check out the high pass and all the way up. And then you can dial it back and find just how much of the original delay you want to come through. Same with the low pass. Let's say something like that right there, and let's take it out of tempo sync. And then up here, I should say, is the most beautiful feature of all, the tempo tap. So you guys that are doing like live music and you bring your laptop and you want to sync things and you're playing to a live drummer, there's your tempo right there. See how that found it? Isn't that cool? That is so cool that you just tap it in and it finds it for you. Maybe I'm just nerding out, but to me that's awesome. And now you can have this pre or not pre or post, I guess, right? And then you can join the channels. So what you do on one in a stereo field happens on the other side. I choose not to. I like to mess with the knobs. And I hope this is working, me talking while the snare is ripping and working for you guys. I hope you can do that. All right, let's check out the overdrive. That made things loud pretty quickly, but you can tell what's going on here with that overdrive. And now let's switch it into post. think I like that better. All right, now I'm going to play with the LFO here. I think I have it turned on. Best of my... all right, let's do the tremolo, and then we'll mess with the sine waves here. Tremolo. Now that's pretty cool. Dang, I wish this thing was a guitar pedal. All right, let's see what this modulation's all about here. So this is like your regular sawtooth. Let's go down here. How wacky and cool is that? Here's your triangle. And then you can mix them up, mod 1 and mod 2. And then we'll get this one off phase a little bit. Wow. All right, like I said, okay, let's leave that with our LFO for modulation 1. Modulation 2, I'm going to come in here and add some attack, get rid of the sustain, and shorten the release. And I think I'll do this one here more like that. And you can turn the delay down here. You can turn it up here, and then you can do it over here with the dry wet for all of the features. And then once you're happy with everything you have done here, that's only delay number 1. You still can go through and now add a second delay and a third delay and go through all of the features, and a fourth delay and go through all of the features. How incredible is that? Mind-blowing, I think, is a better term. Now, I'm going to let the snare pass through clean and bring it back in here. I have another instance of it turned on, and this is in an effects loop, and I will bring it in and see what it sounds like. That's mono. Stereo. I'm going to see what happens if I bring in, full dotted or triplet notes here and over here. Boy, that's pretty handy. Let's bring in 2, 3, and 4. And just mess them up. To be synced to dots. Oh, and you can change these time signatures to anything you've never heard of. By the way, I should have said that off the top. I don't want this joined. Let's do something like that. And then let's pan these all around, shall we? We shall. And 2, let's get some preamp color. And we will get an envelope and a peak filter. A follower, I should say. Oh, this is so fun. This is Serial. I wouldn't want that in a rock song, but any other kind of song, I can hear that last note hitting and then this trailing off. I'm just going to go on the record and say if there's an odd sound, something bizarre that you haven't been able to get out of your head and get into a song, I think you can get there using the Sigmund high quality flexible delay unit. This is miles and miles more intense than any other delay that I have found on the internet. All right, let's use another instance on the bass, just so you guys can hear it in a more musical context. Hold on just a minute. Okay, we're back, and I'm glad because we have this on the bass, and there's a couple other features that I want to show you. So literally, I just opened up the Sigmund, and I have one delay going, and let's check what that sounds like. And I know it's kind of hinky to put it on the bass, but that's where it is. And that's okay. I'm going to solo this just for a second. Please bear with me. I have my microphone soloed and now the bass because I need to show you this. It is in left-right mode and I have it in stereo. Let's listen. And that's pretty cool, but I didn't tell you, you can change all of the time signatures, well, to things that you've basically never heard of, and it will perform that. Now that alone is pretty darn cool, right? It's about to get even cooler. Now, you see over here there's a stereo spread. You have stereo, you have center, and then you have mono. And you're thinking, why on earth would you need that? Because you've got all these other pans over here. Well, this is in left and right mode. And if you put it in mid-side mode, well, that means all you guys that are into mixing will completely get this. You can either have all of the echoes be with the original signal in the middle, or you can send the echoes to the hard left and hard right. So let's see what that might sound like. Right now it's in stereo, so everything will be in the stereo field as far as repeats. So the bass is coming up the middle and you don't want that choking, right? That's where the vocals are and the snare, the kick and the bass. So you don't want maybe you don't want your delays being there. Well, let's go ahead and put it in the center. Put all the delays in the middle and see what that sounds like. Now the bass and the repeats are in the center. Now let's go ahead and put them back. I'm just playing with the settings too, by the way, so they're more distinctive. All right, now let's put them off to the hard left and hard right. Back to the center. Back. Guys, that's just darn cool to me. And I'm going to take this out of solo and do that again, because I want you to hear it in the context of the song, what that might be like. All right, we are in stereo in mid-side. Let's check it out. And now let's put them all in the center. To the hard left and hard right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is the Sigmund on bass.